Hey, welcome back on the saga of the Randy Pitcher workspace in Tabular IO. In this section, we are going to connect to S3 in AWS. So let's get right into it. So last time we had the GCP warehouse, which is still working here. I've renamed it a little bit, but it's in my Randy Pitcher workspace GCP bucket. And now let's give it a friend in S3. So first, we're going to go, just like before, to connections and storage. At this point, we're really just adding places where we can store our warehouse data or table data. So I'll go to storage. I'm going to create, and this time we're going to hit S3. S3 is so simple because we have the ability to use CloudFormation. If you're using Terraform, if you're already kind of manually managing your infrastructure yourself, you can manually set it up. But I'm going to use the connection assistant, and I'm going to give it a region. Everything I'm doing is in US East 1 right now. So let's launch AWS. So this is going to take me over to AWS. You should be logged in already, and it'll take me to CloudFormation, so I can create a stack. First, the name is completely fine. If you want to customize anything, this is probably the thing I expect you would want to customize. So for me, I'm going to make this follow my standard pattern. So Randy Pitcher Workspace double dash AWS. Right. So we had GCP before. We have AWS this time. These easy fellas. My dogs are barking down there. These values are all completely fine for me. Acknowledge this, and then I'm going to go ahead and let me move this around. I'm going to create the stack. This takes just a little bit of time. So while it's running, I'll hit refresh pretty reasonably. But when this is done, what I'm going to look for is something in the outputs. One of the values that are output is what we're going to take and copy paste back into Tabular. So Tabular is able to interact with these assets. It's an ARN that it needs. So I'll give this a quick refresh, and it's creating a role. It's creating the bucket that we'll use. When that bucket is created, we can actually go take a peek at it, see what's going on inside. So I'll have that available. And piece by piece. So the outputs, this is the ARN. Okay, so it looks like the ARN is already available. Did this complete already? I give it. So this is where I'm looking at. This is my stack that I'm making. And it's already completed. Fantastic. Didn't take too much time. So I'll refresh this, and here's the ARN. So the bucket that I created is the Randy Pitcher Workspace at AWS, and the Tabular Role ARN is right here. So I'll copy that. Let's go back to Tabular. So I changed the bucket name. Important for me to update this, or things might get not ideal. So I'll paste this. Perfect. I have the ARN in there. I'm going to go back and grab that bucket name. Just the name. I don't need all of the hashes, or I'm sorry, the slashes around it. All right, perfect. This all looks good. I'm gonna hit next, and the creator role for me is gonna be my sysadmin. I was using security admin earlier. I decided to make this mirror more like the RBAC model, the group defaults that I'm expecting from Snowflake. I think those work really well, so I'll be doing that kind of thing here. Hit next, and this is going to go through and validate it. Good, everything worked. Sick. Okay, so right now we have the integration with S3 in this specific bucket. We don't actually have a warehouse there. So just like before, let's go to data. Let's hit plus. We're going to create a new warehouse, and we can create that in an existing bucket that we've already used, or in this new one. So I'm going to use this new pattern, RPW, that's Randy Pitcher Workspace, _ AWS. Clean, clear, and under control. Here's AWS, US East 1, and the creator role, system admin, create the warehouse. Very painless. So now this exists. This is a workspace within default, just like we did before. Let's hit plus. I'm going to create a quick table, and we'll call this one Hello AWS. The creator role will be sysadmin, and let's add a column ID. I'll just make this an int. Perfect. Very, very basic table. Except this time we'll upload actual data into it. There's some other values that I can define, but I'm not worried about those, and I'll just let Tabular figure it out. Perfect. Okay, so I've got my schema. This exists. Let's go into S3 and see what we just created. So with this, let's go to, I'll move you down here, S3. and I will go to my buckets, and I'll find all the ones that start with Randy. So here's my Randy Pitcher workspace. And let me see if I can stop zooming in so much. Okay, cool. So we have one folder in here. This is the warehouse we just created. If we created another warehouse within the same bucket, it would have some other unhuman readable but completely machine fine folder. Within here, we have presumably, like I said before, I don't know how to read these. This is the metadata. Looks like it's compressed in some way that is defining within my default database that I have a table, but it has no data. Let's upload some data this time, though. So I have a quick CSV. I mean, it's a 1-column, 3-row, like ID 1, 2, 3, right? So I can upload that here. Very convenient for a demo. Maybe not what you would typically do, in production, of course. So I'm going to load a table from source. I can connect to a bucket if I want to, but I actually just have this locally. Let's select the file. So ID CSV. And you can maybe a little here. It's just a single row. I have a more complex CSV I thought I might upload for like a demo. So maybe we can give that a try a little later. So let's upload this ID. There it is. I'm going to upload the file. And now I get to tell it how to process it. I'm going to go ahead and replace, and I'm going to use the CSV format because that's what it is. And it has a header. So simple. Load files, and hopefully that goes really, really quickly. Perfect. Beautiful. All right. So even if that didn't go quickly, I could have closed it and let it run async. So in the activity, I can see now that I had a rewrite of the manifest. I can see everything that has happened here. I could go in and alter the structure of the table, and I could see that in this activity. Snapshots, I believe now we have added some records. So we added 3 records, deleted none. If I were to go in here and do something else, I could see additional snapshots. So I could do time travel, which is pretty cool. Access control setting, we're going to leave those alone. So now let's go back and take a peek at how this changed, if it changed at all. So I'm going to go back up here. This is the database default. Now I have data. Some stuff is in here. And this is the data, and it's being stored as a Parquet file. So Tabular did the conversion for me from the CSV format into a proper compressed Parquet. And now I have the beginnings of an actual warehouse. Like I can connect this to one of my compute platforms, which we'll do next, and query it or modify it or enrich it in some way. Okay, so now tying it all back together, we have 2 warehouses, one within GCP, one within AWS. As we add support in the future for things like, I don't know, Azure, I'll be happy to make a video showing you how to make that connection. All right, thanks very much.